All right, we are back out here for pretty much the final wrap up of this study for now, until it gets real hot, and then we'll do some more stuff. But we're at the park, and it's about 70 degrees, nice and windy. I mean, maybe not nice and windy. We'll find out if I get sand in my eyes. Oof. All right, that's one red velvet for today. I've seen a lot of activity from red harvesters, but that's the first red velvet for today, man. And not much else. Pretty quiet. That makes number 2. That one's deep in the burrow. We can see if we can get up close and get a nice focus on it. But in terms of angle, maybe we can see inside. But that's where they would go to lay eggs. I mean, it's more than likely what's happening right now. And that one's moving quick. Actually, it's gone now. I was able to see its hind legs and its hindquarters of the thorax, and now it's gone. That's 3 right there, crawling through the brush. This deadwood here, underneath this piece. Number 3. Also, another one looks. No, it's a harvester. I thought I saw maybe another one over here too, but I'm not 100%. That was confirmed though. That's 3, and we got plenty of mounds for these little dudes who apparently feed into the toad population, as far as I'm understanding. And if you look in this section, it's crazy how much activity there is. Like, look at this amount of harvesters, and they're just. I mean, they're treading back and forth. There's a lot of reason for activity. There's a lot of stuff to move around, but it's more activity than I usually see. And they've all got, there's multiple almost parallel lines running from left to right and right to left across here. So very important section by the riparian. You can see off to the left we have some junipers. And then to the right, some cottonwood, and then again dead brush right next to a large ditch that's full of water now. But look at that, lots. Fun to walk over. Don't step on them. I'm for taking it easy. They're 3 red velvets. Can't complain too much so far. Thank you guys for revisiting history, man. I appreciate you guys in the long videos, the 30-minute ones where I just kind of meander and stutter along, and also the short ones where we kind of get to the point, see some stuff, and then peace out. But thank y'all. So as you can see, the ditch water is like noticeably higher. I don't know how much, but that would be an interesting thing to figure out. Obviously I don't have any instruments to figure that out right now, but noticeably higher water just from a little bit of rainfall, not even a lot. But you got to remember, all the rivers here are connected in, and a lot of places around here are called the 3 rivers for a reason. Alright, so this is a little bit of an extras bonus one, because last one was kind of short, but you can see got clouds, so we might get some rain. I want to see the environment whenever it's all wet like this, and right after fresh rainfall, and like I said, during rainfall even, maybe. Let's see. If you look here, we got a red and black harvester carrying a roly-poly. It's really interesting. I'm going to get a photo of that one for the lab. You can see spring, despite the wet weather. You can see the dew from the rain, but these flowers are starting to bloom out here in nature, and these things, I'm pretty sure these are going to get pretty stinky, if that's the right one. So you got a pretty active, like really large harvester mound here. It's about, I don't know, 3 feet across, but about a foot high, and you can see at the entrances they're active. They're just hiding from the rain at the moment. So interesting behavior out here in the beauty. And then you can see Lybertee Peak, I think, is right there. We're gonna make our way back around that way. The rain's allowed us to do a lot of cool stuff, like getting shots like that. Almost positive that's a baby deer. That's like clear as day. All right, so the rain slowed. I think we're gonna make it a wrap for revisiting history today, so I'm not trying to get drenched, but see some nice habitat stuff, and that's the whole goal here, is to see it in different times, in different climates, and in different areas. So I think we're doing a pretty good job of getting that. I think the only one we're missing is maybe the very hot part of the summer, which we'll have to come back for because it's just not the conditions. All right, so the rain mostly cleared out, so we're getting a second chance to come out and do another habitat observation, like almost directly after some significant rainfall. So let's see if we get anything different. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of activity earlier, but the rain had just hit, so now we've had a little bit of time to actually see and kind of pace it out. Let's see if well, obviously the harvesters are moving. They were kind of near their holes, and then no, apparently yellow velvet ants, which apparently are basically the same thing. But let's go check. Let's see. Now, I was talking about this earlier about the paw prints, and I kind of didn't take a photo because I'm not, you know, a little bit dull. But I mean, if you look at these, and I thought maybe a dog, but if you look at the claws and how deep and sharp those claws are on those prints, like. Maybe a dog, but I don't know, man. Even my dog's paw prints, who refuses to get his nails done, are not sharp like that. So, one red velvet ant for today. I'm sorry, yellow velvet ant from what I understand now. So, let's keep peeking, and that's 2. And they've come out since the rain has dissipated. We got 2 just visibly noticeable in the area right next to the dead tree fall in the riparian range. So we passed over these red harvesters earlier, and they were kind of huddled by the hill, and there were like maybe 3 or 4. Now there's like 4 holes, and they're all active. There's probably, I don't know, 30 harvesters total on the surface. It's pretty insane. All right, so this is a angle that I have not shown the park from before, and we were just over the ledge here with another road leading up that way, but there's one of the roads straight up with all the erosion, and then the road that was created by this, I think the city, I believe. They had large trucks that were moving dirt so they can make the nice track they have down there. But yeah, man, this place is huge. All right, and then you can see where we came from here, or I guess where we're going. That's we've been on that side a few times, and then we flip around. That way is Colorado, and again, you can't really see the mountains today because of the clouds, but over there is where we came from, all the way around and down. One thing I've noticed up here is that I've seen a lot of black harvester ants, but not so much red and black or red. Those are more exclusive down to the bottom and closer to the riparian area. So I'm wondering if there's something different about these ants that makes them more specific about these things.